chosen ones, empaths, you got to be aware of the narcissist mindset, right? They didn't just cut you off for no reason. They didn't just end it for no reason or give you a reverse discard for no reason. In their minds, in their thoughts, they believed that they will find someone better than you. These new supplies, they put them in a level above you. They put them in a position where they believe that these new supplies will suffice them in a way that you couldn't suffice them. And they're extremely excited, you know. During the last days of the relationship, whether you were begging for them back or pleading with them to try and talk and they didn't want to hear it and they were cutting you off, they were excited. They were very excited about this new life that they're going to live, you know, with this new supply. They were extremely excited. But I tell you, very quickly, very, very quickly, the narcissist realizes they made a huge mistake when they lost you. You're the one that got away. You become the one that escaped them. Soon enough, they realize that this new supply just doesn't cut it. It doesn't cut it for them. Doesn't give them the same feeling. They don't get the euphoric rush. They don't get the supply that you used to provide to them. And this can naturally occur because when two individuals spend a period of time together, you're used to each other. You've built a bond. Even though the narcissist can't pair bond, you've built a bond between two individuals. You've experienced life together. You've gone through the ups, the downs, and you remained constant in that process. You know, you offered them the supply, you loved them, you cared for them, you praised them, you looked after them, you built them up, right? And when they put this in comparison to what the new supply is offering, it doesn't cut it. And just like you know from fact how the narcissist is always caught up on their ex. They're always concerned with who's on the shelf. They're not on the shelf, but they're concerned with who they've left. They'll be happy if you're on the shelf, but if you're waiting on the shelf for them, they'll leave you on the shelf to rot till they want to come back. But if you've done it in your side of the things where you've actually enforced no contact, you've door slammed and bolted and welded it shut, you're not letting them back in, they already burnt the bridges. These lot already burnt the bridges between you two, you know, with the devaluation, maybe the smear campaign, you know, they burnt the bridge between you two and they wanted to jet off with this new supply, like this new supply is going to provide them everything that they've wanted, right? But the longer they spend with this new supply, they just know in their heart, this is not the same. It don't feel the same, right? It don't feel the same as when you guys were together. And you'll often get Hoovers. They'll try from a distance. They'll try and check your temperament with a Hoover to see if you're still engaging, to see if you're still interested. They'll be spying on you, concerned if you've moved on, wondering if you've moved on, what you're doing with your life. But you just need to know, right, that it's very rare what you actually provided for the narcissist. And not a lot of people will do that. Not a lot of people will do that as well. And you need to understand that you've got the blessing in your hands now by being the one that escaped the narcissist. It was only because the narcissist gave into this delusion of grandeur, of feeling like they're better than you, of feeling like they can find something better than you, why they're in this position. So they start, kicking themselves, more or less. Like, They awakened to the fact that they were delusional. They awakened to the fact that they made a mistake. A huge mistake, in fact. Right? But look, if they can't get you back, they'll keep that new supply around for the meanwhile. You know, they'll keep that new supply around. They'll go to friends and family members, probably talk your name, get remnants of supply from that by bringing you up. They'll talk to the new supply about you. You know, we know this. We've been through it. We've been through it on the other side of the fence. When the narcissist was talking about their ex to us. When the narcissist was going on about their ex and how their ex was abusive, you know. But eventually those stories get old, right? And the new supplier is going to be thinking, all right, look, we've covered this now. We spoke about your ex. Like, come on, let's talk about us now, you know. But the narcissist doesn't want to let that go. Just them talking about you brings them supply. Just them mentioning your name brings them supply. That old school potent supply that they used to have. Just them talking your name makes them feel that way. But I'm telling you, they're living with this huge mistake. They're living with this huge mistake. And this can span on for years. You might think I'm lying. You might not think this is true. But I've had my proofs and evidences that the narcissist I was involved in, as I've told you, up to 3-4 months ago, I've had Hoovers. I'm getting dodgy requests on Instagram with like 0 posts and like hardly any followers and hardly any followings, just fake profiles, right? And to me, the only person that's going to be doing that is the narcissist, especially when they was contacting me a few months ago and they made that clear, right? But they don't. These lot are pissed. These lot are seriously pissed that they've lost you. But you escaped them. You're the one who's got away. Now you need to focus on your life and rebuilding your life and healing and doing all the necessary things that you need to do. Honestly, it's actually the most powerful thing ever is actually when you let them go, you know. You'd think it's counterintuitive. You would think, you know, but especially in the relationship time, like when you still love them like wholeheartedly and stuff, if you imagine someone else in the picture, you'd feel like you're losing them. But you actually don't lose them. That's the thing. When they move on with someone else, as long as you're strong enough to never let them back in, as long as you're strong enough to go no contact, door slam, bolt and weld it shut, as long as you know relationship's over because they've moved forward, they actually transition into a person that wants you back and desires you back wholeheartedly. They need you back. They want you back. Right? But you're never going to give them the satisfaction of going back to them. Don't ever give them the satisfaction of letting them back in, because that's a whole nother topic for a whole nother video. You know? All I will say, just on this subject, is if you have let them back in numerous times, you need to draw it to a close. You know? There needs to be the final time. And when the final time kicks in where you don't let them back in, it might prolong it a little bit because they believe, oh yeah, I can get back to them, let time pass. No, just, you need to let time pass and make sure that you don't let them back in, right? This is a huge mistake, a very huge mistake that the narcissist has to live with for the rest of their days. I've seen people getting Hoovers after 10 years plus on the comment section. You need to know your worth and your value. You know, I see comments saying things like, oh, I don't believe this is true. The narcissist, look, if you don't believe it's true, that's up to you. But I've seen it in my own story. I've seen how the narcissist obsesses. The only way you're going to know is if you offered a pure supply. If you offered a loving supply. If you were cheating on the narcissist and, you know, you wasn't loyal and you was cheating on them and you were speaking to other people and you was doing that stuff, then obviously you're not a trustworthy supply. A lot of the reason why they miss our supply is because we're trustworthy, is because we're loyal, is because they didn't have to keep constantly looking at what we're doing. They could wholeheartedly trust us to know that we're not going to cheat on them. They're in these new relationships with these new suppliers. They can't trust the new supply. New supply might be cheating on them. New supply might be talking to other people. New supply might be a narcissist. You know, the list is endless, right? But I told you, they're always caught up on their ex. They're always caught up on their ex. They try to heal through other people. Yes, they'll engage in sex. Yes, they'll engage in this relationship like it's the best thing ever. Yes, they'll post it on their social media to trigger you, to try and make you think, try and make you jealous and invoke feelings of jealousy in you. But this is one huge regret for them. And you only have to look at some of those photos to see that they've downgraded, to see that they've made a mistake. You only have to check their certain behavior and how they operate when they come with the Hoovers, and you just know. You know the narcissist realizes they made a huge mistake when they lost you. And it's something they've got to live with. It's something they've got to live with. The narcissist that I was involved with, or the narcissists that I was involved with, have to realize that they've lost me. There's no chance I'm coming back to them. Absolutely no way. And it needs to be the same for you. You need to not ever let them back into your life. Make sure you never let them back into your life. And it is what it is, right? You've learnt a lesson, and now it's about you going on that healing journey and rebuilding yourself up. So anyway, thank you for watching today. Please press the like and the subscribe button. If you'd like to donate to the channel, you can find the link in the description box. And if you'd like a one-to-one session with myself, you can also find the link in the description box. Currently, I've got the secondary channel, the spiritual channel. Anyway, I'll be back with another video soon. Peace.